Hello everybody, my name is Eric, and today we're going to be talking about IntelBroker, the former administrator of BreachForums and fairly notorious black hat hacker who has just been caught. Now, there's a lot of interesting stuff here. How did he get caught? What mistakes did he make? Who is he? Because I was surprised. I don't know if any of you were surprised. He is 25 years old. He is a British citizen. I did not believe... I thought he was probably older than that. And of course, he claimed, as we can see on Wikipedia, that he was Serbian and currently lived in Russia. Although some people believed to be a team, but it was just one guy, and that he was actually British. Now, this is something I've seen a lot of threat actors do. I mean, obviously, we saw with Ryan Kramer, who recently got busted, claimed he was a Russian. We've got Pom Pom Purin, the former administrator of BreachForums, claimed he was Canadian. It's quite a popular red herring, and especially if you're going to claim that you live in Russia, I don't know, maybe he was thinking that that might just make the FBI just give up or something. Well, that didn't really work out for him. But nobody in the public ever knew about this until they busted him. So in this press release from the Justice Department, we can see serial hacker IntelBroker charged for causing $25 million in damages to victims. Kai West, a British national, is charged with operating the IntelBroker online identity, infiltrating victim computer networks, stealing data, selling it, and causing millions in damages to dozens of victims around the world. Now, he's got quite a nasty set of charges. He could be spending, they say, up to 50 years. Realistically, it's probably about 20 years, but that's still a horribly long time to potentially be spending in prison. So, still a 4-count criminal indictment against his real name is Kai West, IntelBroker. He also goes by Kyle Northern, with a years-long hacking scheme connected through the online identity IntelBroker. He used IntelBroker and was in a hacking group with a name that I certainly will not say on YouTube. You can guess what that is. To steal data from a telecommunications company, a municipal healthcare provider. Now, that could be important. An internet service provider, and more than 40 other victims. West and his online co-conspirators took that stolen data and offered it for sale online for more than $2 million. Collectively, West, through the IntelBroker identity and his co-conspirators, caused in excess of $25 million in damages. He was arrested in France. Now, that's also interesting. In February of 2025. Now, why would they? We don't know, but I believe they probably waited on purpose for him to go on vacation. Because while the UK is a Western country that does extradite to the United States, they have been known to be pretty picky and sympathetic to defendants who they might, especially like if a defendant says they have some sort of condition, they might refuse to extradite. But I think that may have been a factor, because they have known, as we're going to see when we look at the complaint, who this was for years at this point. So they waited, and they got him. The French authorities also arrested a bunch of French hackers as well. So he has sold data 41 times, offered to distribute for free, or for Form 1, which is BreachForums, which he also operated for a while, 117 times. He's tried to make at least $2 million. He's being charged with computer fraud and abuse, wire fraud. It is worth noting, although I'm not sure if they're going to try and use this angle, that the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act does have an exception where if you cause bodily harm or death to someone by hacking, for example, by ransoming a hospital, you can get a dramatically longer sentence. It's 20 years for bodily harm and life in prison without parole for death. Now, I doubt there's any deaths attributed, but it might be possible to make a bodily harm claim, but I don't know if they're going to take that angle. So now let's go on over to this, which is the complaint filed in federal court that goes over how he was uncovered. You're going to be a bit surprised. So background, and this was why this was so surprising to me. Like, most of what I knew about IntelBroker, beyond just seeing him on BreachForums, was he'd done a Minecraft video with Jupiter Trooper, a guy who mostly duplicates items on pay-to-win servers. And in that video, he was having a hell of a time trying to get Minecraft going because he was using Cubes OS, which is a really secure virtual machine-based operating system that doesn't have any graphics acceleration. That was his difficulty. It's extremely secure. You can have Tor all built in. And I kind of thought when I heard that, I thought, okay, this guy has got his Opsec figured out. Well, I couldn't have been more wrong. Yeah, I'm sure he has, like, maybe he's got really good security on his computer, but he made a very rookie-level mistake. This is written as an FBI agent. Based on my review of documents, including judicially authorized search warrant returns and publicly available Bitcoin blockchain, conversations with undercover law enforcement officers, conversations with witnesses, law enforcement personnel, and others, I have assessed that Kai West, aka IntelBroker, aka Kyle Northern, the defendant, is IntelBroker based on the following, among other things. On the 26th of January 2023, West, using the IntelBroker moniker, offered for sale, Form 1, an API key for a particular victim, Victim 7, for 250 Monero. This public message did not reference working with other Form 1 users, that's BreachForums. On or about the 26th of January, Undercover Agent 2 sent a private message to IntelBroker, BreachForums, requesting to purchase the Victim 7 data. Now, it seems they somehow talked Intel into taking Bitcoin instead of Monero. That's important because unlike Monero, Bitcoin's blockchain is completely transparent. You can simply go on the blockchain and you can see every transaction from where it started to where it stopped. The only thing you cannot see through are shared wallets like centralized exchanges. But if the centralized exchange is based in a jurisdiction you can reach, you can then directly ask for information. So you provided the Bitcoin wallet, and the customer got what they asked for. The FBI then analyzed the Bitcoin wallet and learned, inter alia, prior to or on or about the 26th of January, this Bitcoin wallet engaged in 4 transactions. First transaction, 2022, received Bitcoin from West Wallet 1. This wallet seeded BTC Wallet 1. This is generally an indication that this wallet is connected. Now, this was created by a ramp account and attempted to hide this. Now, the ramp account, I believe this is referring to Coinbase, is associated with Kai West's driver's license. Okay, so ramp is a separate thing, okay. In both cases, he'd done KYC. Yikes. So he had directly given an undercover FBI agent a Bitcoin wallet that was easily traceable to a KYC'd centralized exchange account. They're also both registered to an email account that is West's personal email account. Here we can see a censored and redacted version of Mr. Kai Logan West, who lived in England. We can also see his academic credentials. He was studying cybersecurity in university. That's actually kind of hilarious. Maybe he should have been teaching it. He was clearly very good at this stuff. They also discovered that accounts registered to this email address used the same IP address as the IntelBroker did. I believe they got this from the breached leak. He also watched a YouTube video, and that was another way that they were able to trace it. So they have incredibly strong evidence that IntelBroker and Kai West are the same person. There are a few ways he could try to fight this, but I don't think he will. What usually happens at this point with these kind of convictions, with these kind of cases, is people will usually take a plea deal that will probably lower the maximum from something scary like 50 years to something more reasonable like 10 or 20. And that's probably how this will end. So, pretty rookie mistake that took down IntelBroker. Now, what's also been discovered, because I saw this post and I largely agreed, I really like VX Underground's coverage of this. It turned out a lot of people, and we can see his first post here, and I totally agree with him, and I'll say this because I know there are people who watch me who are currently heading down this path. Don't do this. You will regret it, and as VX Underground points out here, you're throwing away your life. You can get decades in prison, and even if you don't, even if you're lucky and you get 3 years, despite the myths, it's actually going to be very, very hard to ever get a good job after doing this. It's not like they say, oh, you work for the government. No, you won't. You're going to have a really hard time getting a job. Really bad decision. And most people doing this don't make much money. Okay, IntelBroker at least made some money. So about how sad it was. Well, he's actually a repeat offender, and he'd been caught as a teenager bomb threatening people. So we can watch this. This is the same guy. This was confirmed. Someone told VX Underground they actually knew him, and that Mr. West had been caught in a bomb threatening group.
Many cyber criminals believe they're safe whilst hidden behind computer screens. Let me tell you, that is not the case.
I'm arresting you, okay, on suspicion of bomb hoax, blackmail, and issuing threats, okay?
Okay.
You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention, when questioned, something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence.
This is a series of bomb threats which has caused huge worry and inconvenience to thousands of people across the UK. Anyone thinking that law enforcement doesn't take such offences seriously really does need to think again, because we absolutely do. For anybody else out there thinking about joining such groups, please consider what I've said. These are serious offences. We will identify you. We will arrest you.
And here's an archive of this. Now, of course, it won't have names on it because when children are charged with crimes, they're kept anonymous. A teenager has been arrested over hoax bomb threats sent to thousands of schools. Now, I really hate when people do this kind of stuff. I think it's about the worst, of cybercrime. 18-year-old is the third teenager to be arrested over a recent spate of malicious communications. Now, because he was a minor at the time, he got a pretty light sentence. But he's not going to be so lucky the second time, especially because the US is known for giving people big sentences. So, I think this is a big hit, and it also, given Shiny Hunter's also arrested, Pom Pom Purin actually being resentenced. That was the original founder of BreachForums. This may finally be the end of BreachForums. There are plenty of scams cropping up, but there's no sign that an official BreachForums is going to come back. So that era may finally be behind us, although I'm sure someone will take their place. So that's going to be all from me for now. Please do let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Don't do cybercrime. That's really the only final thing I can add to this. It's not worth it. You can really screw up your life, and in many cases, it doesn't get that much. That's all from me for now. Bye.